Hello everybody and welcome back to No Man's Land. So today we're doing a news video, but before I get into all the news, I want to let you guys know that I will be doing a series over the next couple days before No Man's Sky comes out. I'll be playing space games, mostly on the PS4, and I'll be also streaming them and doing some commentaries. We'll just be chilling and getting ready for the No Man's Sky release, staying hyped. So check out my channel for the playlist. There aren't any videos in the playlist yet, but once I upload the first video later today, there will be videos there, and then every day until the release of the game. So check that out. The playlist will be called No Man's Sky Countdown, and join me on that ride. So the news is that this weekend, both of the big news publishers, video game news publishers, Kotaku and Polygon, both got their hands on illegal copies of No Man's Sky. So what they did was they sent someone, or a contributor went independently to a smaller independent game store, and I think they were both actually in New York City, and they offered the guy behind the counter a lot of money to give them an early copy of the game. So not only is that illegal, they now are playing and reviewing illegal copies of No Man's Sky, but it's called breaking street date, which is actually supposed to be punishable by publishers and by distributors. So I think that in and of itself is wrong, but they actually went even further, and they started streaming and uploading videos with gameplay of these leaked copies. So illegal gameplay they now have uploaded to both Twitch, and I think it's on YouTube also, and it's also on Facebook. So you might be thinking that these big publishers actually get more leeway with the laws surrounding the street date of a game, and they usually do, but that's only if the developers or the publishers send them early copies for reviewing, which are called review copies, ingenious name. But in this case, we actually know that these copies were not review copies because the publishers themselves said that they had to break street date to get them. So not only is it now illegal, but I think it's also kind of immoral, and Sean Murray's tweet kind of sums it up pretty well. I'll show it on the screen right now. It says, "If you are reviewing or playing our game without our update on a leaked copy, then please don't. It's not what players will experience." So what he's actually pleading with these big publishers to stop playing the game, stop streaming it, stop writing about it, because it's not the final version of the game. They haven't put that update, that day one patch through that actually has a month of work from the Hello Games team on it. So when you look at it all together, you can see that these big publishers got illegal copies of the game. They broke the street date. They're streaming and uploading illegally, and the only reason they're really getting away with this is because they're throwing around their corporate weight, because they have more money and because they're backed by larger publishers. Twitch and YouTube don't want to get into fights with them about this the early copies of the game, the early content, and them breaking the content embargo, because it's such a small game, and Hello Games is a small developer. But I think that if Sony ends up getting into this could kind of pose issues for the two publishers, for any of the content hosters like the YouTube or Twitch, and also I think it could just spiral out of control really quickly. But in any case, the two publishers, Kotaku and Polygon, they are completely at fault in this situation, and this is my opinion, but I think it's really hard to argue it the other way, because they thought that because they were unhappy with the way that Hello Games was conducting the review copies, and because they wanted review copies so that they could make content and get clicks and money, essentially, they went out and they broke a couple laws, and they're really putting kind of the beginning of the game at risk. They streamed out the beginning of the game, the opening titles, and whatever's at the beginning of the game. I didn't look at it, but if somebody stumbled across it and thought, oh, this must be spoiler free, it's coming from a trusted publisher, somebody who reviews games all the time without giving spoilers, they just straight up streamed the first hour of the game, which is something that a lot of people have been trying to avoid because they think it's spoilers, me included. But I think that any way you look at it, these publishers are at fault. Tell me what you think in the comment section below, and also don't forget to subscribe if you really enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and keep exploring.